Yo, Celtics Nation, buckle up because today's news is straight fire. 4 stories that'll hit you right in the feels. We've got game-changing updates, rumors that'll keep you up at night, and decisions that could shape the future of our squad. Are we on the path to glory or staring down a storm? Grab a seat, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive into this wild ride. What's cooking behind the scenes? And the big question, will these moves take us back to the top? Let's find out together. Let's cut to the chase, Celtics fans, because this first story is a heart pounder. The Boston Celtics are in a real bind with Kristaps Porzingis, our big man who's been a star but also a question mark. With the NBA's second apron salary cap squeezing us tight, the front office has tough calls to make, and Porzingis is at the center of the storm. Why? He's in the final year of his deal, pulling in $30 million, and his health is a massive wild card. Let's break it down. At 29, Porzingis has an injury history that's got fans on edge. During the playoffs against the Knicks, he was a shadow of himself. A mysterious illness plus chronic lower body issues held him back big time. Remember that beast who dropped 34 points late in the regular season against New York? Yeah, in the playoffs? He couldn't crack 8 points in any game. That's a red flag, right? So do we keep a guy with this kind of money and risk, or is it time to move on? The stakes are huge. When healthy, Porzingis is a game changer. Jay King from The Athletic pointed out that the Celtics outscored opponents by 19.2 points per 100 possessions with him on the floor during the season. That's massive. He stretches defenses, creates space for our wings, and protects the rim. But with Jason Tatum sidelined by a brutal Achilles injury, we need reliability. Holding on to Porzingis could be a gamble, especially if his body keeps breaking down. The fan base is split. From what I'm seeing on X, some believe he's still the key to our 2024 title run. Others are screaming to trade him for younger players or draft picks with less injury risk. It makes sense. With Tatum out, the focus might shift to rebuilding for 2026-27 when our star returns. Trading Porzingis could free up cash and bring in fresh talent, but we'd lose a center who, when he plays, changes everything. Strategically, it's not just about Porzingis. Keeping him might mean saying goodbye to Jaylen Brown, Derek White, or Drew Holiday to balance the books. That's a gut punch, innit? Imagine losing one of our green-blooded stars. On the flip side, a solid trade package for Porzingis could give Brad Stevens room to rebuild with younger players for Tatum's comeback. It's a high-stakes bet, and a team's future hangs in the balance. But hold up, because the next bombshell is even wilder. There's a name nobody expected on the trade block, and it's got Celtics Nation buzzing. While we're still reeling from the Porzingis drama, here comes another shocker shaking up the Celtics world. The trade market is heating up, and a name you'd never expect is being floated as trade bait. Sam Hauser, our sharpshooting sniper. Yup, the guy hitting 41.6% from 3 might be on his way out. Chris Mannix from Sports Illustrated dropped this bombshell on NBC Sports Boston's The Off-Season, and fans are losing it. Does this even make sense? Let's dive in. With the salary cap choking us and Jason Tatum out with that brutal Achilles injury, the Celtics need to trim payroll. Mannix says rivals think Boston's got a little something for everyone in trades. Jaylen Brown's $300 million deal. Maybe. Drew Holiday, our defensive bulldog. Possibly. But the real head scratcher is Hauser, with his 4-year $45 million contract being called the most likely to go. Why? Because rookie Baylor Shireman is ready to step into that sharpshooter role. Hauser's the guy who drains a 3 and gets the crowd roaring. He's not just a role player, he opens up the floor for our stars. Losing him would sting, especially at 27, with a contract that's a steal for what he brings. But the NBA's second apron rules make keeping everyone nearly impossible. And trading. Hauser would free up millions and give flexibility, especially with Tatum out for most of 2025-26. Fans on X are torn. Some say Hauser's untouchable, fitting perfectly in Mazzulla's system. Others think Shireman, who showed promise late in the season, can fill the gap on the cheap. The strategy here is tough. If the Celtics don't think they can contend, without Tatum, trading valuable pieces for cheaper assets or picks makes sense. It's a sneaky rebuild move, looking toward the future, but there's an emotional side. Hauser's one of us, homegrown, and seeing him go hurts. Is Shireman ready to step up? What if we trade him for peanuts? How does that affect our depth? Manix also noted that Derek White, with his $125.9 million extension, seems safe for now. But for how long? The Celtics' future is on a tightrope, and every move matters. And speaking of big moves, there's a rumor about a massive NBA name. That's got everyone freaking out. Are the Celtics really going for it? Hang tight, because this is getting crazy. Things are getting spicy, Celtics Nation. Because now we're talking about a rumor that's rocking the NBA. Picture this, Jaylen Brown, our 2024 Finals MVP, being floated in a potential trade for none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, the Greek freak from the Bucks. Before you lose it, let me explain why this buzz is out there and why it might be a trap. Chris Mannix from NBC Sports Boston threw cold water on this idea, and we need to unpack the details with the salary. Cap crushing us and Jason Tatum out with that Achilles injury, the Celtics are exploring every option to ease the financial squeeze and plan ahead. Enter Giannis, one of the league's biggest stars, with 2 years left on his deal. Sounds like a dream, right? A guy who dominates both ends of the floor and can carry a team to a title. But here's the catch. Trading Brown for him is a massive risk, especially with Tatum's health up in the air. Mannix put it bluntly, you don't trade for Giannis without knowing Tatum's status. Why? If Tatum doesn't come back at 100%, the Celtics could end up with a lopsided roster. Giannis is a superstar, but he's a free agent in 2 years. If he looks at Boston and sees another shaky situation like Milwaukee, we could lose Brown, the heart of this team, for nothing. Brown and Tatum are the duo that brought us Banner 18. Breaking that up is playing with fire. Fans on X are going wild. Some are dreaming of Giannis in green, picturing an unstoppable front court with him and Porzingis if he stays. Others are furious at the thought of losing Brown, who's grown with us and bleeds green. Strategically, a Giannis trade is all or nothing. If it works, it's a championship. If it flops, it could end our golden era. With the CBA hammering teams over the cap, one misstep could be costly. The risk is sky high and the future's cloudy. Will Brad Stevens roll the dice on a talent like Giannis or stick with the core that's proven itself? This call will shape the Celtics for years, and while we're grappling with that, there's a story about our coach that's raising eyebrows. Is Mazzulla holding back the future or setting up something big? Hold on to your hats because this is intense. While we're still processing those heart-stopping trade rumors, here's a story that shows how Joe Mazzulla, our head coach, is shaping the Celtics' future with a philosophy that's sparking debate. The spotlight's on Baylor Shireman, our rookie who's starting to shine but had to grind to earn Mazzulla's trust. In a jaw-dropping interview on The Garden Report, Shireman shared a blunt convo with Mazzulla from 2024 training camp. And what the coach said is wild. Let's dive in. Mazzulla's never been shy about his dislike for rookies. He told Shireman straight up, look, I don't really trust rookies. You're gonna have to fight for it this year. Talk about a reality check. But Shireman took it in stride and went to work. Early in the 2024-25 season, he barely saw the court. But by the end, with the roster banged up, he started turning heads. As a shooter and passer, he brought fresh energy, and with Jason Tatum out due to that Achilles injury, his role could get even bigger. Mazzulla's stance is controversial. On one hand, it makes sense for a title-contending team to lean on veterans, like Brown, White, and Holiday for consistency. But with 2025-26 looking like a non-title year, Shireman could be key to refreshing the roster. He's shown he can shoot from deep and make smart plays, fit in the Celtics style. Fans on X are split. Some think Mazzulla's too tough, while others respect how he pushes young guys to prove themselves. Strategically, this is a turning point. If Shireman keeps growing, he could fill the void if someone like Sam Hauser gets traded, as the rumors suggest. With the salary cap tightening, betting on cheap rookies is smart. But is Mazzulla ready to give him real minutes, or will he stick with the vets, even without Tatum? His approach could decide if the Celtics lean into the future or cling to the present. This raises a big question. Is Mazzulla's tough love holding us back or building a foundation for the next banner? As the offseason decisions loom, what's next is going to have Celtics Nation buzzing. Let's wrap this up because it's time for you to jump into the debate. What a roller coaster, Celtics Nation. From Porzingis' injury woes to the shock of Sam Hauser on the trade block, the crazy Giannis for Brown rumors, and Mazzulla's tough stance on rookie Shireman, the Celtics are at a crossroads. Will these moves lead to Banner 19 or tear things apart? What do you think? Stick with the core or go for fresh blood? Is Mazzulla right to be hard on rookies? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to stay in the loop.